Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director, at least in theory, of Site-42 of the SCP Foundation. And I am here, once again, with my door open, my cell door open, basically, to educate you, elucidate, and illuminate you to the ins and outs of the SCP Foundation universe during this, a coffee break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary with the Anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I am here to answer your questions about anomalies, groups of interest, our staff, and the hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies outside of the Foundation's purview, whether it be because they be from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of today, let me cover a bit of housekeeping. I see you're all chomping at the bit for the stream subject, but let me get my housekeeping out of the way first. So first and foremost, Senior Researcher Frogman, congratulations on being today's first chatter. As well, hello to you, as well as Mr. Scum, Junior Researcher Sally, Trey, Scarlet Fox, Sin, Atlas, Senior Researcher Alex, Puppet Boy, Billy the Go-Goat, Shadowkin, A.A. Blackwood, Blue Jay Sakura, Silent Follower, Chesta Factory, Zeerdrin, Director Ethan, Sheeny, Aoki. Yes, thank you to all of you for being early, as well as being members. Meanwhile, Murloc, Phantasmic Jenny, Chucker, Silent Honor Dark, welcome to Site-42 staff, just for being you. Also, Dacha, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the Site-42 Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. C.H.A.T. We appreciate your service in the battle against the White Names. And if you get a membership from Dacha's generosity, please make sure to thank them for said generosity. Dacha, nice that you're here. I was just watching your Undertale playthrough. I was having an enjoyable time with it. I haven't finished it yet. It's a long stream, but I'll continue to check it out. Good to see ya. And then Tundra Sherwood, thank you for getting a donation out during the intro. First donation of the day, so grab yourself a Malamar on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, I'm building a containment unit. It better not be for me. After the week I've had, it better not be for me. So, last piece of housekeeping before we get into it. Site-42 staff, I am here to tell you today this stream is sponsored. And if you look in the description of today's chat, you will see 2 links. 2 links to the SCP-3008 Infinite Furniture Store comic book. This is because, A, the second edition with its Dr. Sherman variant cover is complete and is in the currently crowdfunding phase. And so, I am now allowed to show you the second Dr. Sherman cover. Let me pull this out right here. So the idea behind this, because I am the person who says what the cover is. This cover I just showed you, where I am there with the Mobile Task Force fighting the -2s, I suggested that to them, and they drew it. The second cover I suggested them, which I am pulling up right now, is my determination that a great way to make the tree scream, SCP-4521, would be to load it into the Infinite Infinite Furniture Store, and have the -2s try to make the tree scream on my behalf. And so, when that happens, you get Dr. Sherman stuck up a tree, very angrily, hoarding a bunch of -2s to make 4521 scream. Will it work? We'll just have to find out. And so right now you will find 2 links in the description. One of them is a special link that was released only to patrons and members 24 hours early. So I sent it out last night to patrons and members. Now it's available to everybody. And it is that you can get the first cover as well as the second cover in a bundle, as well as a free enamel pin of the SCP Foundation. But they're only giving away 10 of those bundles. So if you don't grab it quickly, you'll have to go back to the general sale. Meanwhile, there is a general link in the description as well, in which you can get episode 2 pre-ordered, and they said they are going to release episodes 1 and 2 with their variant covers again, so you will be able to get back issues just in case. But thank you to Site-19 Comics for making an SCP-3008 comic book in printed form. And also in digital, but you know, it's nice to be able to hold things, right? So, I'll tell you all that again at the end of stream. Sponsors bookend the stream. But now, one more thing. I'm going to put the links. Oh, even I'm not allowed to put over character limit links. How weird. Not weird at all. YouTube is going to do what YouTube's going to do. Ba. Do. Oh, okay, it's too many characters to put both links in the chat. So I have to pin Desk's tweet that says, hey, put this, go look in the description. There you go, look in the description. All right, so now that I've got the housekeeping out of the way, let's talk about what I'm here to talk about. And Sheeny, thank you for the perfect subject matter shift. Sheeny, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Choco Taco on your way past the commissary. So did they decide you look so good in a suit that you must be anomalous? Not one of the reasons. Not one of the reasons. At least that's what they're not telling me is one of the reasons. So, in case you were not here yesterday, I gave a full rundown yesterday, but the long story short, this all started because I went out to 2 restaurants this week, a nice little rundown Italian joint, and a nice little dive bar. And upon walking into both places and hanging out for about 5 minutes, both places turned into dance clubs around me. The Italian place turned into a salsa bar, and the dive bar turned into a waltz ballroom dancing club. This is not my fault. Dancing is very fun, and people like to do it when they're inspired. That's all. I am not a cognitohazard making people dance. Just because it happened twice in the same week means nothing. I am not cognitohazardous. I am not anomalous. But then, yesterday, during stream, friend of ours, intern computer guy, pointed out in the past that I have been described, both by others and myself, as a Florida man. And we all know that Florida men are anomalous in some way or form. Some way, shape, or form. So how could I be a completely normal, human, non-anomalous site director, as is my pen, normal, and non-anomalous? How do we square that circle? What does this mean? And the Black Eyes incident. Legendary Doge, I don't know what you're talking about. Nor am I, as some have hypothesized, the Scarlet King, or an avatar thereof. A thank you. But this is perplexing. How can 2 true statements that are mutually exclusive still be true? This is a question that needs answering. This is a question for the Quantum Physics Division and the Pataphysics Division. Listen, Avery, it's good to see you, but this Sherman-anomalous thing is not going to catch on. Sherman-anomalous is not, it doesn't roll off the tongue. It's just not that good of a nickname. I'm sorry to break it to you, but Sherman-anomalous never gonna catch on. See, what is this? Your mustache is too good to be normal? Stop the cap? This makes no sense. I have a well-kept mustache. It is just grooming. Maybe if some of y'all took a shower once in a while. Is that what Foundation staff working overnight, forgetting to shower, not drinking enough coffee, or drinking too much coffee, both mutually exclusive and yet somehow true, like me, being a Florida man but still not anomalous? Alright. So, whilst the computer guy's assertion is being researched by the Quantum Physics Division and the Pataphysics Division, my quarantine has been increased another 24 hours. So thank you for that, Containment Hazard Assessment Team. You're so helpful to my research. Rebel Commander, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some Cheez-Its on your way past the commissary. The Anomalous Sports Team president wants to meet with you tomorrow at noon. Says there's a game, then says he'll let any staff go to any game for free. I can't go tomorrow. I'm in quarantine for possibly being anomalous. We need to reschedule. O51, thank you for your first donation to the day, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Twix on your way past the commissary. Left or right, but not both. Dr. Sherman, what happened again? Got you out, now back in again here in Class E. Listen, I'm not here by choice. If anything, I'm here because frickin' computer guy threw me under the bus with this moral and pataphysical quandary. DO7, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some mozzarella sticks on your way past the commissary. SCP number? I don't have an SCP number because I'm not an SCP, because I'm not anomalous! SCP-049, what do you mean, Dr. Sherman, welcome to my world? You are a hundreds-of-year-old plague doctor whose costume and mask are parts of your body. When you touch people, they die instantly, and you can do a surgical procedure to turn them into zombies. That's anomalous. Me going into a bar and people wanting to dance because dancing is super fun, that's not anomalous. Me being a Florida man, well, that's still a touchy subject that we're trying to figure out how two true statements mutually exclusive of each other can still be true. We're working on that one. And this whole scion of the avatar of the Scarlet King Black Eyes business, that just sounds made up. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Sin, thank you for gifting 15 Site-42 memberships to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team. We greatly appreciate your service in the battle against the White Names. And a reminder that if you got one of those memberships from Sin right now, make sure to thank them for their generosity. Puppet Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself some beans and toast on your way past the commissary. You're cognitohazardous, you say? No, I said, I am not cognitohazardous. I don't need to be in quarantine. Thank you. Will Tunes, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a chocolate-covered strawberry on your way past the commissary. Which escaped anomaly would cause the most havoc? Which escaped anomaly would cause the most havoc? The most havoc. I mean, the old man in the mountain is literally an escaped anomaly that causes havoc wherever it goes, so there is that one. But if we start to go up to, like, global levels of damage, I mean, we've got to talk universal, where we start to get to the Scarlet King. If it escapes into our dimension, it blows up everything. It's if SCP-3008 ever decided it didn't like you, snaps you out of existence. We have an unfortunate amount of very powerful things that we are just tenuously either containing or just hoping they don't mess us up. So, it's hard to say. 051, thank you for donating again. On it, being stuck in the database as the perk of taking over when needed. Well, we'll see. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. Says, can do video call, you send someone else in prison. Says, can do video call, you send someone else in person. Okay. Okay, a video call might work. We'll organize this later. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. I also don't get the fact that they've got you in quarantine, like you're not loyal to the Foundation. Investigation aside, anomalous or not, if you're going to cause problems, then you would have by now. I don't get it. You need to, if you haven't yet, look into the beginning of SCP-3008. Now remember, SCP-3008 is a very rough read. Trigger warning. It's abysmal. It's terrible. But that is basic protocol at the Foundation when you discover one of your fellow staff members is anomalous. It's not that we're not loyal to the Foundation. They definitely trust my loyalty. The problem is that any anomaly is unpredictable in the ways that it interacts with reality as well as other anomalies. And so, right now, they don't know what my anomaly is. I mean, as far as you guys have put it out, I either gain black eyes and demon powers, or I'm an avatar of the Scarlet King, or I am a Florida man, which, what is the anomaly of Florida man anyways, huh? How do you describe it? Describe it to me. We know it is anomalous, but how? How is it anomalous? And fourth, there is, in fact, accusations that I have a cognitohazard where when I walk into a room or a party, it becomes a dance party. And I just claim that dancing is fun and it's not anomalous for people to enjoy dancing. But anyways, those are 4 very different anomalies, and the higher-ups need to know what happens when those anomalies interact with other anomalies. So we need to discover what my anomaly is, which, by the way, there isn't one, but testing protocol states I have to be in quarantine until we figure out what the anomaly is, what it does, and test it with other anomalies. So, we shall see. And by the way, earlier, just to be sure of what I was speaking of here, I checked the SCP database. We do not have a Florida man anomaly on the wiki. Not a thing we have contained. But if I ventured out into the world of Dungeons and Dragons character mock-ups, which, due to the pataphysical nature of anomalies, means that, yes, these things do exist elsewhere, then your standard Florida man Dungeons and Dragons character anomalous individual has a ability to wrangle reptiles, the ability to understand drunken slurring in languages they know, so you can understand drunk people even if they are not speaking sense. You are immune, or you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and your mind cannot be read by magic because your thoughts are too muddled. And Hold My Beer, the trademark Florida man ability, is the uncanny ability to succeed in the least likely of circumstances. When you fail an attack roll or ability check that you rolled with disadvantage, you can choose to take the higher of the rolls instead, potentially turning the failure into a success. So, just unusual luck? We had a whole SCP-3000 contest about anomalous luck, so that would be a lot. And I was not in the 7000 contest, thank you, although I was featured in SCP-7777, but that was me being framed for a crime. In fact, what if this is all a ruse? What if someone is framing me as anomalous for dubious purposes? But who could it be? Who would frame me as being anomalous? What would they gain for having me quarantined? Who might get a position of power if they were able to frame me and get me out of the way? Curiouser and curiouser. How long has the dancing thing been happening for? That's the thing. The intern Teehee, the dancing thing just happened twice in this 1 week. I can't think of any other times when it's happened. I mean, it was, I don't know. It doesn't seem, I feel like I would remember if every place I walked into turned into a dance party. What happened as a funny coincidence? I told it as a water cooler story. I was, hey guys, you hear what happened this week? It was crazy. Twice? If I had 2 nickels. And then they threw me in a cell. Unreasonable, says I. All right, I'm behind on the dodos. Let me catch up real quick. Sin, thank you for gifting another 5 memberships. Thank you for your generosity in the battle against the white names, and keep thanking people who give you donations, donated gift memberships in the chat. It is a good, gratuitous thing to do. Gratitude, it's what keeps you well. It's what keeps you mentally sound, even if you're locked in a cell with nothing else to do. I saw a Ko-Fi donation come in. Let me get that before I forget the notification. The Thomas, thank you for your first Ko-Fi donation of today's stream. We appreciate the effort you went through there because Ko-Fi donations come to us 100%, whereas YouTube takes 30 to 40% of Super Chat. So we appreciate your effort in that sense. Make sure to grab yourself a quiche on your way past the commissary. You're already going crazy after 1 day in containment, Doctor? Try going double-digit redacted of self-approved containment. I hope you don't have to. I'm not going crazy. I'm not crazy at all. I am frustrated. I was only supposed to be here 24 hours, and even that was a hunk of 682 waste runoff. So instead, I'm here another 24, a total of 48, for bull snackery reasons. I object to this. But what can I do? Protocols are protocols. And I am loyal to the Foundation and its tenets. And I've personally done this to a lot of people, so it had to come back to me sometime. Lady Alexandrana, thank you for becoming a level 1 researcher here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service, and especially your research in plotting in the battle against the white names. Sorry for the diversion, chat. There's some back channel happenings, good happenings, good happenings. But I just wanted to answer that immediately so it was not left behind. Dr. Sherman, you've been invited to our next anomaly, only Sunday. You know what that means. I am not going to be in this quarantine until Sunday. I will be cleared by Sunday. I guarantee. Daddy Pudding, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a hot link on your way past the commissary. I hired a handyman to do 5 repair tasks. He only did 1, 3, and 5. Turns out he only does odd jobs. SCP, the Dad Father, has altered reality. Even numbers don't exist in jobs involving construction and maintenance. No! No, we need even numbers. We need them. We already have anomalies that delete numbers from existence. We don't need another one. Put those even numbers back where you found them, or so help me. O51, thank you for donating again. Okay, got the team. The IT guy deleted the server node with your Class E report. The research team is trying to recover it while others are rewriting it. All right, but we still have to deal with the human effort. Security staff is having a ball at my expense, so even if the computers change, they might still enjoy this for as long as they can. Carnival, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dark Duality, thank you for your 3-month member message and your service here as a Mobile Task Force Captain at Site 42. We appreciate your membership, your service, and your fighting prowess in the battle against the White Names. Almost all directors in my dimension are anomalies, so maybe if you are, you can transfer here. Well, I mean, I wouldn't particularly like to leave my dimension, but I mean, it's possible if, and big fat if, they determine that I am some sort of anomaly, and they determine it doesn't interact with other anomalies in unpredictable and terrible manners, that I could still fulfill my duties here at Site 42. So we might not have to move here. Violet, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a chicken sandwich on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, you probably know this, but Mount Everest has made up 45% of anomalous bodies in the SCP universe and slowly growing in numbers. SCP-5140. Yes, I am in fact familiar with the Mount Everest pile of bodies anomaly. Funny story though, that is not the only manner in which Mount Everest is anomalous. Mount Everest is anomalous in a lot of ways, including being a pile of bodies, but also the king of the mountain, SCP-1529, travels around Mount Everest, ganking people. On top of that, What? No. No, you're joking me. SCP-6453, codename Shit Yeti. Shit Yeti is the codename of SCP-6453. The origin of SCP-6453 is Mount Everest. No, Teehee. No, not even a normal Yeti. A shit Yeti. That is what SCP-6453 is. And correct, Lalas, it is not a -J. It is on the wiki proper. It is a completely normal anomaly that we contain. So yes, Mount Everest has a host of anomalies you can check out using the wiki search function, which now works. gods be praised. And by gods, I mean all of the contained Gizai, because they're all involved in that. All right, back to the chat. Sin, thank you for what I think might be your first actual donation today, as well as being a member and gifting several memberships. Make sure to grab yourself a cherry pie on your way past the commissary. Since you are not a site director at the moment, I am still a site director. Means I can do what I want. That is not what that means. I can place SCP al dente-J everywhere around, and I can take 999 forever. No! Why the racist pasta? Why your obsession with that ridiculously Italian stereotype talking pasta? Why is that the one you pick? Why do you want to cook it in meatballs? Why do you want them all over the place talking about the spicy meatballs and the carbonara, the bolognese? Why? Why is that your fixation? I mean, it could be worse, but why? Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. Someone may be attempting to sabotage your meeting with the president of the Anomalous Sports League. Coincidence? I think not. Do you think they did this to me to get me to not meet with the Anomalous Sports League? What a roundabout method. The timetables do line up, though. You wouldn't do it the day before, because that would be obvious, but you do it the day before and then get an extension. Is Computer Guy in on this? Oh! Oh, you monsters. Oh, my. So, wait. Nadine Just, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some Kool-Aid on your way past the commissary. Mirror Dimension Dr. Sherman? No. Very normal, regular site director, Dr. Sherman, who has been claimed to be anomalous and now is in quarantine while they figure out all what's going on. They can't even figure out exactly what anomaly it is. Do I have demon eyes and powers? Am I the Scarlet King? Do I have a cognitohazard that makes people dance when I walk near them? Do I don't know, Florida Man? Do I have unusual luck in drunken situations? These are so many ideas. Desk. Its name is not SCP-35RM right now. That is not what's happening. That is not the correct way to address a site director who is completely non-anomalous, despite the fact that there's evidence of anomalies, but that aren't real. It's a pataphysical web, and we're going to untangle it eventually. Trust me. Spooky, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a tamale on your way past the commissary. D-Class again. What happened this time? I just answered that. I'm not a D-Class. They just gave me a D-Class jumpsuit while I'm in quarantine, while they figure out my anomaly, which doesn't exist. Daddy Pudding, thank you for your 1-month member message. As a level 1 researcher here at Site-42, we appreciate your membership and your service, especially researching plots to help us in the battle against the white names. You'll need to find a joke to put the numbers back. You'll need to find a joke to put the numbers back. I will have my revenge against SCP, the Dadfather, the anomaly that's taken all the even numbers away. I'll have my revenge because you know it's the best way to get even. There, the numbers are back. I did it. The numbers are back. I'm so glad the numbers are back. Seraph Reaper, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a Pudding on your way past the commissary. Happy to catch you live. You are why I love SCP. Thanks. Happy to help out. I think the SCP community is super cool, and I like spreading it to the people because we don't have, it is number one, the largest community art project in the world. That's us, baby. The largest online community art project, maybe by the stipulation. I don't know the exact stipulation. But so many authors, so many fans and projects, it doesn't get better than that. And I think when people come in and do it, they will enjoy more and more. And with the Creative Commons, we'll be able to make big things in the future. Big things. And I'm going to help make them. And you guys are too, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters. And one way you can help me with that is sponsor bait. Check the description for the SCP-3008 comic that we have going on. We're 30 minutes into stream. I can talk about it again. And so if you get that comic book with the Dr. Sherman variant cover, it helps out SCP artists who are making comics. It helps out Psi-42 since we're partnering with them. So we appreciate if you want to get that comic book, use our link so we get our credit for it. Thank you so much. As well as thank you to Site 19 Studios for making a freaking SCP comic book that you can hold in your hands. 051, thank you for donating again. Oh my 343, I didn't want to learn about that Yeti. No one wants to learn about shit Yeti at any point. Sin, thank you for donating again. So that I can annoy you humans without doing it myself. You know, that is an incredibly well-made plan. They will just sit there talking. That is very annoying. I just recently got promoted from trainee to junior researcher, feeling good. I say knowing damn well I could die from a breach any moment. Nakumoe, that is exactly how all of our lives go. So yes, that is just the way things are. Congratulations on your promotion, regardless. Darling Industrial, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Dino Nuggies on your way past the commissary. So, can we vote for Computer Guy as the new site director? No! The site directorship is not an election. Nor is Computer Guy eligible to be site director based on their current work history. Steve is the current interim site director until I'm released. And so, we're fine. Max, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to get yourself grab yourself a bratwurst on your way past the commissary. What kind of hair dye do you use? It looks awesome. You know, I do not know what brand of hair dye the on-site stylist uses, but not only does it look pretty good, and when it meshes into the melt colors, it stays pretty well, but it actually is super non-smearing. I once dyed my hair a long time ago and it got all over pillowcases and it came out in the shower. This holds really good. So what I'm going to do I can't figure it out today, but I will ask and I will see if I can get that for you in a non-sponsored sense. Just, it's what we have. So yes, I will see if I can get that answer for you. Stay tuned for tomorrow's stream for the thrilling conclusion of that question and answer. Samevi, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a crepe on your way past the commissary. Savory or sweet, your choice. Dr. Sherman, this is Dr. Redacted. Would you mind explaining why 049 is currently bawling? Well, listen, SCP-049 made an agreement not to turn staff into zombies, and as long as they upkeep that part of the agreement to stop making zombies, then they are allowed a certain amount of privileges. And you'll notice no one on the gym floor is bawling with them because their touch is lethal. And if they touch 049 to block or guard, they will die. But 049 is allowed to practice their bawling in solo mode for exercise. Surprisingly, good ball handling skills considering that mask is just as likely to hit the ball poking out like that. Is GTA 6 an anomaly? Intern Springtrap, that is still up for debate. The Schrodinger's GTA 6 is our current prospective code name for whether it exists or not in a quantum superposition. So we are currently studying that, and when the report is complete, we will know whether it is real or fake, because right now it's both at the same time. Narinjas, thank you for donating again. The class plate is mirrored equals mirror dimension. No, that is just the front-facing camera mirroring it. That is how front-facing cameras work. In fact, it's some of the merch you can get from our good friend Toad King Studios on his Etsy shop is mirrored placards, so that if you do your video recording with a front-facing camera, the words come out right. And so they are the influencer editions of his patches. Not sponsored by Toad King, just a good friend of the channel. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. D-Class, you mean expendable personnel? I'm just wearing it because it's a quarantine outfit. I am not a D-Class. I am still Site Director indisposed of this facility. Praise Toad King, the fellow frog enjoyer. Senior Researcher Frogman, you do? Yes, that does sound exactly like what you would say. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I believe you are not anomalous. And how do we get the comic? Well, Atlas Animations, at least someone believes I'm not anomalous. And if you go to the link in the description of this stream, you will see two links right at the top. The first one is of the super secret, only 10 of them are being sold bundle, where you can get Dr. Sherman variant cover number 1, as well as the new Dr. Sherman variant cover number 2, which is me stuck up a tree, trying to make the tree scream by exposing it to SCP-3008-2s. And so you can get both of them in a bundle with an enamel pin at a discounted price if you get them quick enough. Otherwise, you can always buy these pieces separately as well. Let me put that back. I should just leave it in range if I'm going to keep talking about it. Yes, I am a professional site director and not a very good influencer. I'm learning on the fly. What are some dangerous SCPs that can be neutralized at any point but are left alive on purpose? Atomic HD, thank you for being a member, and that would be a lot of them. Most SCPs aren't indestructible. We can kill SCP-939s. We can kill a lot of these anomalies. Oh god, what's the designation for the bed hands that peel your skin from your toes up to your legs? SCP bed hands. I hate that one. SCP-072, codename the foot of the bed. If you are in a bed that is infected, then, and if one of your foot or both feet are exposed to the open air, i.e. not under the blanket, then a hand will appear from the foot of the bed and start peeling the flesh from your foot or feet, stopping at the ankle. And so you will be awake, but you will be paralyzed. You will feel the entire peeling process. I hate it. But what I hate even more is that the bed hands are infectious. So if you leave a bed that is uninfected next to an infected bed, then there's more bed hands. It also affects sleeping bags. It also affects all sorts of different bed type things. Hate that thing. But, and yes, we can destroy the beds, but then we can't study them. And that's why we leave them alive, whoever just asked that. We leave them alive because we don't destroy anomalies unless we have to. We are the SCP Foundation. We study anomalies. We contain them. We don't destroy them. You want that? You can go over to the Global Occult Coalition next door. The gawksuckers over there will destroy things all over the time. And when you destroy unpredictable anomalies, things get worse. Did you see what happened at Site 13, SCP-1730? Destroying anomalies leads to unpredictable, terrible results. For those of you asking about the beds for SCP-072, although I could just make you go to the document itself and read it, it is just short. The first 3 that we have in containment, recovered from the original apartment complex, are 3 twin-sized beds. And that means they were located within 10 meters of one another. That, in case you're unfamiliar with environmental storytelling, that tells me that 3 siblings in the same room / same household, because they were twins, they were twin beds, they were kids, most likely. That is children being peeled there. And then SCP-072-4 is a king-size 4-poster bed contaminated during 072's time in Site blank, temporary anomalous objects holding. So we stored it next to another bed and it happened. Further, SCP-5 is a sleeping bag with bottom removed, introduced for testing. We expunged what happens with this test, and we're not going to do it again. And finally, beds 6 and 7 were introduced to a original bed for testing, and then destroyed for examination. The remains appear uninfected, and will be contained regardless. Mattresses on the floor, I doubt are safe. Because remember, sleeping bag. You expect that to be on the ground. Alright, hopping back to the chat. Darknick42, good number in your name. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a gelato on your way past the commissary. What happens if a bird looks at SCP-173, and what happens if it doesn't look at it when it's flying? So, today's video on the channel was about SCP-173 interacting with animals. And that video is from a previous compilation, meaning I'm not even sure exactly what the hell I said at this point. So why don't I take a look at what the hell I said? Let's see what my solution was here. We can learn together. Let me pause the music. Come down here. Play. What did I have to say about this scenario?
Does SCP-173 freeze if an animal looks at a neck? If they look up, it's like, oh, he can't just zoom around really?
If it has eyes and it's alive, it can stop 173. So that's animals. Famously, we used SCP-131, the icons, to stop it and for a little bit before they got stressed out by that. It wasn't good for anomaly testing, so we don't do that anymore. But yes, it is the case where if it's alive and it has eyes, then it stops 173.
Does it?
So, there we go. Animals do stop 173. That is what we determined in the research for that episode. Furthermore, to continue what you said, and what happens if it doesn't look at it when it's flying? So the thing about SCP-173 is it can move faster than we can check, man. It is so fast. And so when it's making contact with, say, walls, if we put it in a pit, not only could it just ride its disgusting blood and feces mixture that it excretes up the top of the hill if left unattended, but it could also chisel away at the walls and create a ramp to exit. And so if a bird is flying in open space, then yeah, it could probably get away because 173 would not be able to get to that elevation very easily. But if it were in a contained room, 173 could just fill the room and eventually catch the bird. I hate that. Desk, do you remember what episode that was that we found out exactly how much waste 173 dispenses on a daily basis? It was What's the name of that division that handles that? It starts with an A. It's not abiotic. What's the name of the division that does the waste cleanup? SCP departments. It starts with an A. I'll know it when I see it. I'll be annoyed that I couldn't remember it off the top of my head. We have a lot of departments, guys. Alchemy, anomalous entity engagement, anti-memetics, artificial intelligence, cryptozoology, decommissioning, Department of Miscommunications, Department of Myth, Department of Tactical Theology. What the hell was that page? It was something like aeronautics or something. It sounded like aeronautics, but it wasn't. Pataphysics, Department of Department of Purgatorial Spaces, Spicy Crust Pizzeria, Department of Serialistics, Department of Tactical Theology, Telecommunications Monitoring, Temporal Anomalies, Department of Unreality, Internal Departments. All right, a listing of more departments. Groups of interest, departments. Achromatic abatement! Cry your fear. Cry your fear. You are the one I saw who said it. You are the one who I saw who said it. So you're getting the credit. If anyone else also said achromatic abatement, then I give you credit as well. But I saw cry your fear. Get the answer right. Desk is saying you got it at the same time. Congratulations. So let's look at the achromatic abatement as it handles with SCP-173. Achromatic abatement. 17 kilos of offal every 24 hours. 17 kilos of blood and feces come out of that statue daily. And reminder, for those of you who failed using the metric system, 17 kilos to pounds is 37.5 pounds a day. That statue is dropping 70 kilos, 37.5 pounds a day of blood and feces. Gross. You can find that information and more in the Foundation Facilities Dossier. Everything you need to know about achromatic abatement, but we're too confused by the name to ask. Which, fair. I do not know what achromatic means. That is a crazy word. And because one final point. It says it at the end of the article. Damn it. One final point. Achromatic means esoteric. I would have told you that right at the start, but well, you might not have read the rest. Rude. Rude. But fair. But rude. But fair. All right. Back to the chat. I don't understand why I'm not getting any email. Morrow, I don't know what you're talking about. On-site email system seems to be working just fine. Rex, I just sent in an application to join the site on the SCP Wikidot. I read the rules. Well, you better have, because it has all the rules for joining the wiki. And if you don't read all the rules properly, you will not be able to join the site. There are safeguards for that. El Gasp, what happened here? Intern Bella, are you talking about the discovery and everyone being grossed out by the fact that SCP-173 deposits 37 pounds of poop and blood a day in its cell that we have to clean up? Or are you talking about that why am I in a D-class outfit? Because the answer to that is I am on quarantine for possibly being anomalous, which I'm not. But there are several hypotheses as to how I'm anomalous, and they want to make sure it's not the case before they let me out again. Frickin' quarantine. Silk Song will get released tomorrow. Mr. Scum, I hear the voices of millions of people taking off their clown wigs and clown noses, which is good. We need less clowns out there. Things are crazy. Rose Lady, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a burrito on your way past the commissary. Comic books and commissary. Looks like a good night. Also, Global Occult Coalition was out of coffee this morning. Looks like they are getting hit by cost increases. Woof! Thank you for the coffee machine. Aye, aye, aye. Love SCP-294. Infinite coffee of any flavor. Violet, thank you for donating again. I'll be gone by the time you read this because I got to research stuff, but I'll be back for another stream when I can. See you later, Anomaly in Denial. Well, okay, you can see this later when you watch the VOD. And not in denial, because not an anomaly. Human, average, normal, non-anomalous site director. And my pen. Also non-anomalous, also normal, not human, because if it were a human pen, it would be anomalous. No. Normal pen, normal site director. It's not denial if it's true. Desk of Alto Clef, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Hot Pocket on your way past the commissary. I know you only donate things like this if it's going to be particularly painful for me to watch and read. SCP-53RM shows signs of hostility at being called anomalous. It appears angered by SCP-D35K, a very attractive mahogany desk. Object class, cranky. Nuh-uh. Mr. Grizz, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some takoyaki on your way past the commissary. Is Mr. Grizz from Splatoon an anomaly? Well, that does depend on their world's situation, you see. Evolution in the Splatoon universe diverted in the benefit of squid-like entities. Originally, though, this seems to be a bear of some type. I'm not familiar with the Splatoon lore deeply. I'm not sure if this bear is anomalous or not. If it showed up in our universe, it would grade A be anomalous. But since it exists in a universe of altered evolution, I find it hard to state from the beginning. Dr. Sherman, you're one of the few SCP channels that got me into SCPs. Today I've come up with a few SCP ideas. Well, Intern Weldon, I'm glad to have been of service. Spreading the gospel of the SCP Foundation is part and parcel of my mission statement, and so I'm glad to welcome you aboard. Meanwhile, I hope you write well for the wiki, if you get to that point. And also, don't create more anomalies. It means we have to contain more things. That costs resources. Sin, thank you for donating again. Hello, SCP-53RM here. Hands 999 over to you. Funny, I don't see any 999 here. It's almost like there is no SCP-53RM. No SCP under that designation to be found. None at all. Completely non-anomalous this guy is. A non-anomalous site director. Daddy Pudding, thank you for donating again. Odd way to go about it, but since you're doddering about as Class D fodder in a shoddy cell all poked and prodded, it works, so don't be downtrodden. Well, I guess we're even Steven, and when I'm done in quarantine, I'll be leaving. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. Aren't real D-Class just expendable personnel? Yes. Yes, they are test subjects and expendable personnel. I mean, we don't waste them because it's a human resource. It's very expensive to replace. But, you know, yes, expendable human resources. Moonston, thank you for asking for a time check. I haven't been paying attention. We are 1 hour into this stream, which means we are, to be accurate, 28 minutes away from the end of stream. Building Block, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a ecto cooler on your way past the commissary. You know, saying you're not anomalous is something an anomalous entity would say not to get contained by the Foundation. Saying you're not anomalous is exactly what anomalous would say. So would a non-anomalous person. Both people would say it. So that's not a good way to rate these things. You are smarter than this. Silent Follower, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Get yourself a macchiato on your way past the commissary. And thank you for your goodbye, Corgi. Little does this anomaly know, as it shouts about its non-anomalous nature, the room it is in has been flooded with sarin nerve gas and gamma radiation. Read by, David Attenborough voice, I see. That is not true. Because if sarin gas and gamma radiation were flooded into this room, I would, in fact, as a normal, non-anomalous human being, be dead. You see, I'm not dead. Therefore, no nerve gas, no radiation. Perfectly fine, normal human, surviving no unsurvivable things right now. That's where we are in our current situation. Hexus, I didn't get demoted. I am in quarantine. This is just what they gave me to wear in quarantine. That's all. Zero, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a schnitzel on your way past the commissary. They found the speakers in the tree room. My next plan is to make the tree do something else. Any ideas? What are you trying to do? I don't like what I'm hearing here. This is, I swear, if that tree screams and I'm stuck in here, I am going to fire everyone. I'm going to burn down the building. That kind of fire everyone. Gabort, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a strudel on your way past the commissary. Are you familiar the masquerade breach with the C.H.A.T Boys concert after the Huntrix breakup? Is right to depend on independent teams like that. Listen, Gabort, me and my staff are currently working on protocols regarding the Huntrix and C.H.A.T Boys entities. Now, the C.H.A.T Boys haven't been seen since the incident, but the Huntrix anomalies are still out there, and we have to sort out exactly what we're going to do with them. We have to be careful, because this whole Hanmu thing they maintain, if we blow that up, it might cause more problems. So, whether we are trying to align them as a Thaumiel class anomaly or a Archon class anomaly is still hotly debated among research staff. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Dr. Pepper marinated ribeye on your way past the commissary. Just be thankful you don't have a physical anomaly. I got stuck with so many needles in med exams after Dr. Redacted accidentally closed me in SCP-914. Yes, I am very thankful that I don't have any anomaly whatsoever, because I am a non-anomalous human site director. Zero, thank you for donating again. P.S. Did the moon wake up yet? I wouldn't know. I'm locked in a box. The irony is not lost on me. Sin, thank you for donating again. That's something an anomaly would say, giggle. That's something an anomaly would say. That's something an anomaly say. Get more original, Burns. You're all unoriginal. You're derivative. Ugh. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Why do we kidnap homeless people for the D class when the whole sex offender registry is right there? Well, it is a sad state of our politics and of the abilities of predators to disguise themselves that we care as a community and society more about the people who are sex pests than the homeless people. That is an indictment on society. Sin, thank you for donating again. Places SCP al dente-J everywhere around you. Again, I'm not hearing any racist Italian speech. I am completely alone here. You are miscalculating some directions around here. The Moon Woke Up is a series by Mr. Friend. Oh. Well, I have never heard of that. That is new to me. The moon woke up, stabbed my basketball, and the speakers on my stereo. The moon is the antagonist of what happens when the moon wakes up. He's the Earth's moon with a creepy face who crashed into Earth to create moon-infected creatures. So, Majora's Moon Part 2. Gotcha. Rude. Charger, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and it's been a while, buddy. How you been doing? Make sure to grab yourself... Oh, well, if it's your birthday, then make sure to grab yourself some cake on your way past the commissary. Hell yeah. Greetings, Dr. Sherman. Want to let you know it's my birthday today. Happy birthday to you. And as such, I wish to ask, what would you say is the easiest creepypasta to contain? The easiest creepypasta to contain. %99 of haunted video games can be contained if you just stick them in a box and don't play them. Ben Drowned only got to be the big problem it was because that dude kept playing it. All of them. Just put the game, cartridge or disc, in a box and leave it alone. If someone were to eat the racist Italian pasta, wouldn't they just be the reincarnation of Benito Mussolini? Hexus, people have eaten some of the boxes of the racist pasta before, and they did not turn, in fact, fascist. So no, that is not how SCP al dente-J works. I saw a Ko-Fi donation. Let me grab that before I forget it exists. The Thomas, thank you for donating another Ko-Fi today. Wow, there's cake in the commissary. Wish you could have some. Rude. Rude is what I have to say to that. Rude. Oh, I'll have my cake and I'll eat it too when I get out of here. What the hell? That wasn't the only new Ko-Fi. Oh, I did not see the notifications for these other ones. Desk, thank you for warning me. Let me get the rest. The Thomas, thank you for Ko-Fiing again. I heard they're sending 3 junior researchers to the Catboy dimension for a 2-month expedition. Any words of wisdom for them? Oh, Lord. They're sending junior researchers to the Catboy dimension? All right. They're newbies. Listen. Just keep your distance unless approached. Let them be the approachers. You know how tetchy cats are with their personal space, so let them approach you. You'll mostly be fine. And, be careful with the catnip. That stuff is intense. Chesta Factory, thank you for your first Ko-Fi donation to today's stream. As well as being a member, I know. Grab yourself a Chicka Cherry Cola on your way past the commissary. I made a Minecraft mod, not SCP, but still wanted to share. It's called Emberborn, if anyone is interested. Also, what keyboard do you have in the Audiophonics lab? Well, I don't know much about Minecraft, but hey, maybe people are interested in that. And in the Audiophonics lab, I just have a basic split keyboard. Nothing special in the Audiophonics lab. Dark Duality, thank you for your first Ko-Fi of today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a key lime pie on your way past the commissary. Our plague doctor was forced to wear a jester hat for the royal portrait, lol. Oh, that does sound humorous. Entertaining, in fact. All right. Darling Industrial, thank you for donating again. Since you might not know you're infected and anomalous, the site director of their right mind wouldn't protest being anomalous until they had been fully tested. I have a pretty good idea of whether I have anomalous abilities or not, thank you very much. I've gone this far in life without presenting any. Why now? It is not shocking for me to be shocked at the idea that I may be anomalous. Yes, I will follow the protocols. That is my duty as a site director, following the protocols of quarantine. But that does not mean that I should not protest my innocence, when clearly I am a normal, average, non-anomalous, human site director. As is my pen, completely normal and non-anomalous, average, but not human. Because a human pen would be anomalous. Chesta Factory, thank you for alerting us through your donation to the Ko-Fi. Thank you for checking that. Making us check that. And thank you for donating again. Coming back to the Ko-Fi because someone else just donated as well. What timing? Chris, the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for your first coffee of today. Make sure to grab yourself an espresso on your way past the commissary. As well as being a member, thank you for that as well. Drac, Dr. Sherman Anomalous, that is not my name. What if 343 is making you look like you're anomalous? Do you think that I have told SCP-343? If I've told enough people about 343's lies, about being God, that it heard about it, and now it's messing with me? Is that what you think? Not impossible. Someone should check in on 343 and see what it's been up to lately. Check the logs. Check its location. Perhaps Thursday night and 2 nights ago. And see if it was in the vicinity at all. Who let a D class do a stream? Intern Bleck, I am still site director and I will still demote you once they let me out of quarantine. I am not a D class. It's just what they gave me to war while I'm in quarantine. The Moon Watcher, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. I don't believe in 343. Also, have you ever asked about his son Jesus? Hexus, 343 has never really opened up about the subject, but we already have 4 Jesuses, or Jezi, in containment. Bread Jesus 3305, Vor Jesus 5991, Uber Driver Jesus 029-J, and Milk Jesus, otherwise known as Cheesus, 6542. So we are flush with Jesuses. We actually need less information on Jesuses because there should be less of them. R.I.P. Clown Milk Jesus. Clown Milk Jesus will be contained when it's on the database. Otherwise, that is just hypothetical. More likes and views. Junior Researcher Sally, you are correct. We have 225 likes and 202 viewers. So congratulations, Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename The Signal Boosters. You have made an excellent effort today hitting that like button. And because of your efforts, Psi-42, the algorithm of YouTube will drag new SCP fans into Site-42, with which we will funnel them to the SCP Foundation. And with that, we will be successful in all of our dreams of supporting the authorship of the wiki and its artists and its game devs and its filmmakers and its animators, and we're gonna have good stuff. We're gonna have good stuff. Wait a minute. Intern Norwich. Good day, Dr. Sherman. Glad to see the entities haven't gotten you yet. Have you had the chance to review my researcher application yet? Intern Norwich. Good to see ya. It's been a while, buddy. Since I'm currently in quarantine for possibly being anomalous, I have not looked into your application as of recent because I'm quarantined in the audiophonics lab until they decide that I am not anomalous, which I am not. And so, when I get out, I will certainly look into that application. I'll put it right at the top of my desk. Always good to hear from you too, Intern Norwich. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a croque monsieur on your way past the commissary. D-class or director? Either way, you still look good today. Well, thank you. I'll take that. I need a little pick-me-up. Who could use a little help with the old ego when you're stuck in a cell in a jumpsuit? Michael Harrington, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some spaghetti and meatballs, I guess, because did someone say racist Italian jokes? And this intern's profile picture is of himself dressed as Mario, as in the brother of Luigi Mario, as in the Mario Brothers. It's-a-me, Mario fame. So yes, SCP al dente-J is right up your market, friend. Tank Pro Emporium, you're correct. Mamma mia. That's exactly what we're talking about with that racist-ass pasta. At least you got a full undershirt. When I was a D-class, they only gave us the cropped wife beater. Dr. Flog, I hate to inform you, but yeah. So how is the pasta racist? Intern Hexus, it is I'm going to drop you a document to read because you really just... Let me see if this comes up if I type it right. It's got the most annoying number in the world. It's 41-D3N73-J. It takes so long to type this document name, but long story short, it is several boxes of pasta that speak with a very thick, stereotypical Italian accent. So it's not completely racist, it's just a racist stereotype of Italian people, of which I am both Irish and Italian, so I get to take offense. So if you want to read a little bit of Al Dente-J when it's, what do you mean? I'm not doing anything. I don't know what are you talking about. I'm having an existential crisis. It is ridiculous. I saw a Ko-Fi donation get in. Let me get that before I lose track. Derek, thank you for donating again. Can I be around in quarantine so you're not alone? Unfortunately, you are in fact anomalous as a dragon, and therefore the answer is no, because anomalies interact in unpredictably. And though I'm not anomalous, they're still running tests. How does he make such a perfect accent? Michael, thank you for donating again. What accent? Oh. Time check. Gotta see how much time is left. We are currently in the last 10 minutes of stream. We are technically 7 minutes away. But I'm seeing a lot of comments and donos to get through. So I will be a little further going over so I can get all this done. Not going to leave you guys in the lurch. Charlie 10 Pro, thank you for donating again. Does 053's effects work through technology like phones? I believe the 053 anomalous effect is only possible by close quarters, but I might be wrong. Let me double check the documentation. No physical contact. Any and all humans over the age of 3 who make eye contact, physically touch, or remain around 053 for longer than 10 minutes will rapidly become irrational, paranoid, and homicidal. So that makes it sound like it's only close quarters. Honestly, a phone test would not be out of line for this anomaly. Sid, thank you for donating again. Yeah, wrong room. I placed it everywhere in 051's office. That's going to require a lot of explaining. Which Steve gets to do, because I'm locked in here. Ha! Screw you, Steve. If you're going to have me locked up in here to test if I'm anomalous, you get to deal with the petty bullshit with the overseers. Have fun, buddy. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. You know, all of this started last Thursday. I wonder if the time lines up to when we were conducting tests on an anomalous high school musical DVD. Yeah, but I feel like unless you were following me around in a van playing an anomalous DVD and its anomalousness was making people around it dance, that doesn't seem like a likely crossover event. The Antagonist, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a Nuka-Cola on your way past the commissary. Would if the tree doesn't scream because of it enjoys it. So I mean, what if the tree doesn't scream because it enjoys it? Well, it wasn't screaming before we got there, so we know that its non-screaming has to do with something besides enjoying the torture we put it through. So, nice hypothesis, but we've already worked that one out. I just realized how many people will be rushing toward the SCP-9341 slot when Series 10 is released to the Wikidot. Huh. Do you think the D9341 anomaly will merit that? Okay, now here's the thing. The off-site community, the Containment Breach players and all that, are obviously more into 9341 lore than the SCP authorship, the on-site community, are. So, You don't get a lot of the authorship who's really into the game lore like that. But that doesn't mean they won't try and snipe the number for meme potential. Just like when everyone was pretending or accidentally thinking that Siren Head was an SCP, number 6789, and someone took the opportunity to make a fake Siren Head with a similar number, but that Siren Head on the wiki is a boat with a figurehead that is a siren, like singing sailors and boats to their death. So, it could get picked up for meme potential. You've got a point there. You've got a point there. Nice merch. Oh, are you talking about our sponsorship? Our sponsorship with Site-19 Comics and our Dr. Sherman variant covers. Because, yeah, I think they are pretty cool. And the second one is up for kickstarting right now. And so, sure, if you like what we're putting out, you can grab the second issue as well as the first right now in a nice little bundle. Greebs, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a rum cake on your way past the commissary. If I were to fill SCP-173's room with insects, isn't that a solution to the problem? So, the problem is we do not trust insects to keep an eye on anything. And yes, there is a feces blood concoction on the floor that could be used as sustenance for them, but if it's anomalous in any way, it's the same reason we don't use it as fertilizer. It might cause some anomaly within the flies who eat it, causing more problems. So, we don't like anything unpredictable. Light Night. We don't talk about that researcher since they died a long time ago. It is part of our channel rules here at Site-42. If you want to check out the video, The Last Death of Jack Bright, on this channel, you can get a quick summary of why we don't talk about Bruno, so to speak. Dr. Pepper Dragon, thank you for donating again. By the way, if any medical staff offers you Dr. Pepper, don't drink it. I'm still convinced they're giving people my blood to see what happens. They would not be doing that if I were here. I would not have approved that test. What the hell are you doing out there, Steve? Ugh. Desk, see what happens when I interact with chat? You're allowed you're allowed. I just happened to catch that one at the right moment. And I felt like, okay, I haven't said it in a while. It's good to say it once in a blue moon. Do 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 do. Kevin Narwich, thank you for donating for the first time of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a nice glass of bourbon and a cigar on your way past the commissary. This should grease the wheels of that application, but it's not a bribe, I swear. Oh. Well, once I get out of here, I'm sure that application can do a little bit of a magic trick and find itself at the top of the deck. And by magic trick, I don't mean an anomalous. I mean cool card magic. That's all I meant. Don't even start with me, people. Sin, thank you for donating again. If you wish, I can place more stuff in 051. Office, like SCP... SJ. And so on, so that Steve gets problems. Listen, Steve might be doing some slightly irresponsible things out there, but that's a lot, and especially doing that to an 05, that is so against protocol. Not even a chance. Not even a chance. Sheeny, what do you mean, like there's a lot of that out there? What do you mean? Scrolling up, scrolling up. Oh! Oh, you're talking about Dr. Pepper. That's what you're talking about. I am less concerned. The computer guy. Thank you for your 1-month member message and your service researching for the battle against the white names. Furthermore, thank you so much for earning me a second day of quarantine with your Florida man tomfoolery. So far, according to staff here, I have been accused of 4 different anomalies. 4 different anomalies that I personally have or contain. There are some who claim that I am the avatar of the Scarlet King, or an avatar of the Scarlet King. I have no idea where you could ever get that idea. There's some people who claim that I have like black-eyed demon powers. No idea what they mean. This fake anomaly about me going into bars and turning them into dance clubs as a cognitohazard. People like dancing. It's a fun thing. Everyone should learn to dance. It's a good time. And so no, it's not having fun. People at a bar is not an anomaly. It's just giving them a good idea. Not a cognitohazard. And then there is you, computer guy, where you pointed out that I have in the past said that Florida man is anomalous, and also that I in fact am a Florida man. And so here we have the statement that Florida men are anomalous and I am in fact a Florida man. That is one pair of statements that is true. All true there. But there's also the secondary statement, which is that I am a normal, human, average, non-anomalous researcher, as is my pen. Normal, non-anomalous, average, not human, because a human pen would be anomalous, and this is a non-anomalous pen. Also true. How do we have 2 mutually exclusive, yet true, statements? Well, now, I'm sitting here waiting for the quantum physics department and the pataphysics department to figure out what kind of wibbledy-wobbledy narrative wonkery has me stuck in this quandary. A somewhat Schrodinger's anomaly, they're calling me. A Schrödinger's anomaly. Which is not going to stick. The same way Sherman-anomalous is not going to stick either, by the way. Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. What if Tree isn't screaming because it enjoys screaming? Well, if it enjoys screaming, then why isn't it screaming? It should be screaming. We love it to scream. We would do less bad things to it if it screamed. If it were screaming in public before we found it, we wouldn't even know about it. Raccoon Dog, thank you for donating again. Anomaly says what? Oh, come now. We are professionals here at the Foundation. We work with the darkest and most dangerous anomalies on Earth. And you're going to prank me with Anomaly says what? Please. Please. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. The dancing could be a Fae thing. I do not have dancing on the Fae folks anomaly register. You show me where the anomalous Fae make people dance using anomalies. I am not a Fae folk, not at all. What? Crazy talk. Crazy talk. Desk is informing me there is another Ko-Fi. Drek, thank you for donating again. Wouldn't it prove you're not an anomaly if I was around you? Well, that's the thing. It's unpredictable what anomalies interact with. So even if it didn't interact, they would still say there's still a possibility your anomaly would interact with another anomaly. Therefore, that could still be a confusing scenario. So that's not a proper testing protocol. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. Get your mind out of the gutter. Look, I saw what I saw in the chat, and I am but a normal human man. I am a professional, but also it was pretty funny. I'm a serious and professional individual. I am not immune from jokes. Come now, come now. I am, after all, only human. The fact that one comment got him a whole extra day of quarantine is hilarious. Yes, computer guy. Hilarious indeed. Sin, thank you for donating again. So no SCPs. 729. In 051's office, giggles no fun. Correct. Do not do that. Quantum K-pop, you are the director of the quantum physics department? Well, please, if you got an update about what's going on here, I'd love to hear it. Meanwhile, oh, made it to the stream for once. Hello, my second favorite SCP YouTuber. Well, hello to you. Being second place among the ranks of the mighty SCP YouTubers is a pretty good place to be, so much obliged. Thank you for joining us. Sin. Wait, no, that's Christadar Wolfboy. Thank you for donating again to the super chat. Steve gave Drac and 999 pieces of infinite cake. I couldn't stop them from eating the cake. Oh no. When anomalies eat the infinite self-replicating cake, it causes more cake to appear. So stop feeding them cake, because now we're going to need more D-class to eat more cake. That's just resource intensive. Please stop them. Dark Duality, thank you for donating again. Did you piss off the Fae? Not recently, to my knowledge. I don't think so. Drac, thank you for donating again to the Ko-Fi. I wanted to play something Chris said was called checkers with you. Yes, you'll just have to wait until I get out of quarantine. Sin, thank you for donating again. It's good being #1 with the XP right now. Yes, you are, in fact, the royalty of the YouTube chat leaderboard at this point. Congratulations on your victory. It might be an anomalous exhibition of quantum superposition. Yes, Quantum K-pop, we are, in fact, aware that could be the situation. The question is, have you figured out which side of the coin I am personally on? I mean, I am currently being observed, so that should lend credence to the fact that I am one way or the other at this point. The Thomas, thank you for donating another Ko-Fi. Much obliged. Most higher-ups in the European SCP branch, including me, are rooting for your release, just so you know. Perhaps we can bake you a cake when you're free. Well, I appreciate that from the European SCP branches. I appreciate the support. Sin, thank you for donating 1, 2, 3, 4 Site-42 memberships to the Containment Hazard Assessment Team, i.e. C.H.A.T. And chatters, I hope you, if you got a membership from Sin, thanked them for their generosity, as well as their service in the battle against the White Names. Narinjas, thank you for donating again. What is the closest SCP to Hollow Knight plus Silk Song? So that is a dead world of bugs. There's so many dead world SCPs. Because if you want to make the Hollow Knight SCP, your first question should be, what is the Dark Souls SCP? Because going through a... So the closest one I could think of was from a recent contest. And in that contest, the SCP Foundation sent a person to explore a planet. And when they got there, there was a bunch of abandoned topography, and it took them through a mental place. I guess that's not so much Dark Souls, because it's a journey through the mind and the past rather than a actual abandoned civilization or something. You know, this is interesting. I've not thought of this. I'll have to check it out. And Rebel Commander, thank you for donating again. Because enjoys screaming too much, doesn't want addiction. So it screams in moderation because it enjoys it so much and it doesn't want to overdo it? Listen, I just want one scream. I'll be happy. I'll stop at one. We're not trying to get you scream drunk, SCP-4521. Just one little scream. One little scream for the Foundation, for your own well-being. Do you know how long we've been testing on you? If you enjoy screaming so much, you should be scream-deprived at this point. And the only rational thing for you to do would be to scream! Scream! Wave Ray, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself an ice pop on your way past the commissary. Wait, did Dr. Sherman get demoted to D class? No. I'm on quarantine because some idiots think I might be anomalous, even though I'm not. And now there's several studies going on, so this is what they gave me to wear in quarantine. That's all. Whoo! Okay, Site-42 staff, congratulations. We have made it to the end of stream. It is time check over. We are 15 minutes over, in fact. And we're 15 minutes over my long stream idea, so congratulations. Now, here at the end of stream, it is tradition around these parts that I tell you my favorite SCPs, but of course I'm not going to tell you the SCPs that I personally wrote are my favorites. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm Site-42 author page and Site-42 Video Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see the SCP anomalies that I personally wrote documentation for, and if you go over one tab on that page, you'll see some links. Some links people are often very excited to find, but they just don't look hard enough. And so while you're there, you can become a Patreon patron or a YouTube channel member if you want to donate to Site-42 monthly. You could do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube Super Chats if you want to donate one at a time. And either way, we appreciate you helping us keep the lights on. Another way you can financially help us keep the lights on is by going to the current link in the description and visiting our sponsors, Site-19 Comics. Site-19 Comics is putting out a periodical SCP-3008 Anomalous comic book. It's about the Infinite Furniture Store. And so we have the Dr. Sherman variant cover for episode 1, which has me holding my pen in self-defense against several SCP-3008-2s with some task force guys backing me up. Meanwhile, there is a second variant cover for episode 2 coming out soon, currently in Kickstarter phase. And it has me bringing SCP-4521 to the IKEA to make it scream using the SCP-3008-2s. And so hopefully these entities make the tree scream on my behalf. I think it's a good plan. And so you can go to the links in the description of this stream to visit our sponsors and get some cool comic books and help out Site42 at the same time. We appreciate you. Also, if you can't do any of the financial help because you are part of the Broke Gang, trust me, I understand being part of the Broke Gang for life as an artist. And so what you want to do there is you want to make sure that you're in streams, in videos, like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube business, so that you too can be a valued member of Mobile Task Force Sci-42, codename the Signal Boosters, and help us on our mission to drag people into the SCP fandom, kicking and screaming. That way, they help us to support the authors and the artists and the animators and the filmmakers and the game devs. Anybody who makes an SCP project, I'll tell you guys where it is, and you guys flood the zone. Comments, likes, shares, and if you can financially donate to their project, do that too, because that helps them out. And so with that, we can make more projects more profitable, and that means more people will want to join this Creative Commons community that Netflix and Amazon won't make things for because they can't own it. We don't need you. We can do it ourselves. And Mobile Task Force Sci-42, that's because of you. So thank you for your service, Signal Boosters. Now, before I move on to my favorite SCPs, I've gotten a couple last-minute donations. Let me get those real quick. Sheeny, thank you for donating again. That reminds me, you still want some liquid paint to try on the tree? Oh, hell yeah, I do. Yeah, just leave it in a container, clearly marked container, please, in my office, and I'll get to it once I'm out of quarantine. Narinjas, thank you for donating again. Is a D-Class K anomaly classed as DK class? Is a D-Class K anomaly classed as a DK class? What is a K anomaly? I don't understand your question. A D-Class K I'm sorry, I don't understand what's happening here. I need clarification. Narinjas. Chris, the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again, and with a ridiculously generous donation to boot right at the end of stream. So, do me a favor, and you know what? If Steve's not in my office, go in there and grab something out of my personal stash. Just make sure it's not the liquid paint. That would be bad. But thank you for your generosity, and grab something from my stash. That is your reward for your generosity. Much obliged. Okay, hear me out. What if Steve told 343 what you've been saying about it, so Steve could take your job and run tests on you while pretending to be trying to help you, because Steve is secretly an anomaly? Steve? You think Steve is smart enough to mastermind my downfall in order to take my place at the top of Site-42? Steve! That's what you expect? No! No, that's insane. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Steve wouldn't do that to me, even if Steve could do that to me. Right, Steve? Oh, Steve. Dragon Thunder Gamer, thank you for your last-minute donation to today's stream. First one of the day, so grab yourself some Italian ice on your way past the commissary. And you didn't leave a message, so just thank you for your generosity. Now, as I was saying in the outro, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one, it's a rough read. Speed round 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, 8980. Content warning on the last one, because it's a doozy. And you know what? I'm inspired real quick. First of all, Logan, thank you for being here right at the end of stream. What's up? Haven't seen you in a long time. Did you stop lives for a while? No, the streak continues. We have been streaking once a day since April 14th, so that is nearly 5 months. We are still doing good. So, yeah, it just must have been bad timing, but if you have your notification bell set or you're in the Discord server, you can get pinged whenever we go live, so you'll know and you won't miss it. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Making others trusted is Steve's anomaly. No way. No way! No way. Dragon Thunder Gamer, thank you for donating again. Even with you nothing. Logan, the Discord is an Easter egg hunt. You gotta find it. It is linked in a secret location. A location that can be found if you listen to the outro of my streams often enough. Now, where was I? Oh yes, I was doing something special. Hold on. You made it to the end of the outro. You're the cool ones. You're getting a special treat. I was gonna do this at a later stream, but I've just decided, screw it, I'll do it now. And so just let me go down to find it. If you go to a YouTube channel called SCP Silent Madness, then what you're gonna find is a very new and very low subscriber SCP animated series. This person reached out to me in emails, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of you. I gotta check you out. And what I can tell you about SCP Silent Madness is it's got very strong Newgrounds animation energy. It's got this sketchy, blocky character design, but it also has this very smooth movement. And they do a lot of like action scenes, which is why I gave it like a Newgrounds vibe. There is some crazy violence and anomalies in this one. So, yeah, I believe it's got only one episode out. Yeah, one episode a year ago. And so, if you go over to SCP Silent Madness, and you go in the comments and you tell them Dr. Sherman sent you, or that you're here with Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename Signal Boosters, then, I don't know, maybe you'll enjoy this new SCP animated show that we could maybe kickstart by giving it a little support. So yes, I will mention that again on the future stream, but you guys are first dibs, since you have to make it to the end of today's intro, and I felt like it. So with that, Site-42 staff, even though I'm still stuck here in quarantine, I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video and or stream. Low key, no pressure, just hang with me and my weather. Rose-colored boy, I hear you're making all that noise about the world you want to see. And oh, I'm so annoyed, 'cause I just killed off what was left of the optimist in me. Oh, hearts are breaking, and wars are raging on, and I have taken my glasses off. You got me nervous, I'm right at the end of my rope. A half-empty girl, don't make me laugh, I'll choke. Just let me cry a little bit longer. I ain't gonna smile if I don't want to. Hey man, we all can't be like you. I wish we were all rose-colored too, my rose-colored boy. Low-key, no pressure, just hang with me and my weather. The credit song is Rose-Colored Boy by Paramore. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect, Site-42 fam.